Hello, party people. How's it going? Nice to see you all here on a Monday, October 21st. There are 10 days left of BeatToober, and I hope your BeatToober is going well. If you've made it this far, just pat yourself on the back, because BeatToober is a challenge for anybody, no matter what level you're doing the challenge at. If you're doing a beat a day, couple beats a week, a few beats a week, whatever goal you set for yourself, I'm hopeful that you are making it through that goal. And check in on the chat. Are you hitting your BeatToober goals? Are you where you planned to be by now, October 21st? Let me know in the chat. I see a bunch of you. Early gang already here. Thank you for jumping in so early. Hewitt tuning in from work. I know a Monday we got the working crowd who is tuning in from the office, the regular 9 to 5ers. Hitesh tuning in for a late night stream, 10 p.m. Thank you so much for being here, everybody, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what time zone you're in. Doing much better than last year. Interesting. Very interesting. What's up, Negatory? Nice to see you. Atomos gives a tip for the challenge that we have coming up today, but I'll get to that in a moment. Daltrix says, time to move. Indeed. Time to move. Time to move back over here to this studio so we can have more good times. Isn't that right? If you missed the stream with Daltric, it's worth a watch. You can watch us eat some bugs. You can watch us take on a couple cool challenges. For sure, it's worth it. Oh, Kayla says getting in a few beats per week. Nice, nice. Shroon says the first time commenting on a stream. Hello, welcome. If anybody else's first live stream with us today, please say hello. It's a very welcoming community, as you might have already gotten the vibe of. Vadim, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Christina says past streams are at 3 a.m. I know it's hard to find the right stream start time for the international audience that we have. So I've been kind of balancing it. For me, it's like there's been some afternoon times, evening times, and then this one, which is more like morning time. So I'm doing my best. Hitesh says, would be fun to have Daltric on the stream again. Maybe we can get Daltric to call in on one of our final streams and beat reviews. I do have a few announcements, BeatToober related announcements, and I would also like to introduce you to the topic at hand today. First of all, I want to thank Ableton for sponsoring today's stream. Big round of applause, because today we are going to be taking a look. Well, I've got my iPad here, and we are going to kind of move from Ableton Note to Ableton Move, and then probably bring that live set over to the computer. We're just going to show the entire workflow, and it is all in the spirit of our 4-track challenge with Ableton that we're doing. So if you didn't see, you should head to beattoober.com/bounty to find all the ways that you can win. And there are a number of ways, including just by being in the stream right now. So we'll do a quick giveaway right after my spiel here. Just by being in the stream, you can win. We've got a couple sample challenges, which I've talked a lot about already. Then we've got the Jamstick Challenge, and then the latest edition, a last-minute edition for this last 10 days of BeatToober, we have the Ableton X BeatToober Bounty, and it is a 4-track challenge to start creating a beat using Ableton Note or Ableton Move, no more than 4 tracks, make your video and post it, submit your entry to the TAETRO Discord by October 30th. Grand prize winner is going to get $100 to the Ableton webshop, which is pretty dope, because if you're thinking about purchasing Move or upgrading Live, or if you just need some packs, then this is a great prize, because you can use it in all those different ways. They've got a bunch of packs here, a lot of them for free, by the way. So if you're an Ableton user, take advantage of the free packs that are out there. But also, don't forget, you can upgrade Live. You could get Push. You could get Move. $100 gift card to the web shop is not not something to sneeze at. So thank you to Ableton for sponsoring this event. We're going to be getting into the challenge. I'm going to demonstrate for you firsthand, going from note to move to live. So we're going to make some 4-track beats today. If anybody wants to play along at home, if we think that would be a fun thing to do, little challenge for 4 tracks, if you want to make your 4-track demos today and share them, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in doing, playing along at home. It wouldn't have to be your official contest entry, but it could be fun. It could be fun. So thank you to Ableton for sponsoring today's stream. We're going to get into Ableton Move and all that in a second. I have one more very important announcement as well, which will all tie in. Actually, a couple of announcements that tie in together. But what do we think of this Ableton Move challenge idea? Hitesh says, bought Note on my iPad a few hours ago for the challenge. Ready to have fun. Ableton has been getting so better so quickly lately. I hear you, like new hardware coming, Live 12.1 dropping. I mean, Push 3 is not so far in the distant past, so think about that. Adamo says, honestly, incredible. I've never been this productive before. Nice. Kitabit says, absolute newbie, just bought a Move plus MPK Mini, but learning so much from TAETRO's videos. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Holy smokes. And a big chat from Antun says, I made more beats in 2 weeks than in the last year on Ableton Move. More beats in the last 2 weeks with Move than in the last year all together. That is crazy. Honestly, I wish the Ableton challenge was free. Well, challenge yourself a little bit if you can. Challenge yourself to make a 4-track beat regardless of if you've got Note or Move. It's a worthy challenge to do anyway. But speaking of for free, why don't we just hit things off with a quick giveaway, and then I can do the announcements while we run the chat giveaway. Oh, but I do have to point out, Automo says launch key plus Move is a legendary workflow. Wrong button. I think you're right, bro. That's what I got my launch key mark for right there. We could explore that in a future stream for sure. Negatory says, I'd like to see people using the Note and or Move just to see what can be done. Exactly. And I've got a pretty good workflow that I'm going to show you all in a bit. But before we kick things off with the challenge and all that and the announcements, let me bring your attention to a giveaway that we're going to run today. You, just by being here in chat in the spirit of BeatToober, are eligible to win our kickoff giveaway today. I am going to hook one lucky participant up with a Melodics annual subscription. So in the spirit of, like working with Move and doing all this kind of cool finger drumming stuff, you might want to do a little bit of training for that. Melodics is one of the best platforms for that. It's one of the best formalized platforms to learn like electronic music, even a little bit of theory, keyboarding, and finger drumming. There's not many platforms out there that package this in a very modern, almost gamified way. So if you want to win a year of Melodics, and we do thank Melodics for being another supporter of BeatToober, why don't we spam our Move-related emojis? So that could be like transportation, it could be running, it could be any kind of transportation or moving-related emojis. And as you do that, I'm going to go ahead and type !winner in the chat. So while you're spamming the chat, which is all you need to do to be eligible to win this giveaway, just read that Nightbot message, which says, if you win a random drawing, you must. And then there are several steps that we'll need. There are several steps we'll need to see. Falguna, I see you. Nice to see you, my friend. Long time no see. Happy to have you back here in chat. And folks, as the Move-related emojis are coming in, I will start to set a timer for 1 minute on the clock so that we can choose that winner. And I will remind you all that there is a donate button on this stream, and that is because all month long we are raising money for the Music and Youth Initiative, which is why it's really great to have partners like Ableton, like Melodics, who make BeatToober special so that we can give back to the community. But let's also use our power as a collective community to raise money for a good cause. The Music and Youth Initiative essentially builds music programs for young people in after-school programs. So basically, a kid gets out of school, they say, oh, I want to go to the studio after school. Oh, I want to go learn how to play an instrument after school. I want to go be in a band. I want to prepare and do a big live performance. Even students performing at some of Berkeley's largest performance halls. That is what Music and Youth is all about. They are an amazing nonprofit, and we raise money for them every single year. So whether you have $1, $5, $10 to give, it all makes a huge difference. And in the spirit of BeatToober, I'm doing my best to make sure that we have lots of stuff to give away each day or each stream back to the community. If you're able to throw a little bit back to the Music and Youth Initiative, these are photos from my program. Actually, we were back in the day using Push 1. What kind of place could you go to as a kid and have an access to an Ableton Push? But yeah, it's an amazing thing. Kids get to learn all aspects of music, whether it's music production, instruments, people to teach them those things, access to instruments, and none of that is cheap. So Music and Youth Initiative needs our help raising money for them. Donate button is below, and I'll talk about more ways you can contribute in a moment other than donating here on YouTube. For now, the timer is up, so stop the spam. You are already eligible. Let's give away a 1-year annual license to Melodics. All right, I'm gonna roll the dice in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it. Okay, Kajichi has won the giveaway. And also was the first chat after the winning. So that's pretty amazing. If you didn't win this giveaway, don't fret, because we're going to have another giveaway at the end of the stream. We have another plugin to give away at the end of the stream. So my friend, exclamation point winner, I've just typed it in the chat. Pay attention to the Nightbot message that's about to pop up with the steps you need to take to get your prize. Christina asks, what's the plugin we're giving away at the end of the stream? That's a great question. Our friends at Baby Audio were very generous as well for BeatToober. We're going to give away Spaced Out, which is a reverb delay workstation, which is pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. It's a $100 value. You can win just by sticking around to the end of today's stream and being in chat. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Just stick around. But congrats, my friends. Or congrats to one of my friends. But congrats to 5 more friends who I posted about this challenge, this 4-track challenge on Instagram. And we selected 5 comments, 5 random comments to win a serial code for Ableton Note. Those 5 comments randomly selected are the following people: Arnie, a lot of names I recognize here, Bobby Limes, Jam Cart Express, Diego, and Hydratech. And I gotta scroll up. I'm hearing in my earpiece that there was a donation that came through during the spam. I gotta say thank you to Choco Mint for the $5 dono. Thank you so much, Choco Mint, for the $5 dono. Y'all, if I miss a donation, feel free to spam the chat. Feel free to spam the chat. And Xichi, I do want to remind you that you do need to type your Instagram handle in the chat to redeem your prize. So if you see your name on this list, your Instagram handle here on this list, it would be great if you sent me a DM and said, hey, I won Ableton Note. If not, I will find you after today's stream and I will send you your serial code. Questions about the merch. People who already have the merch, talk to me about the quality. How's it going? Are you enjoying your merch? This shirt here is probably the most popular merch of all BeatToober. And I want to be super clear that all the proceeds from the merch go to the Music and Youth Initiative. We're not just doing merch for the sake of merch. I don't have the hoodie here. But there's actually another secret limited merch coming, my friends. Secret limited merch that also ties into another big announcement, and then we're going to have to get into the challenge. So, are you ready for another big announcement? As some of you know, every year my mom creates a cute crochet plushie, which usually gets used or gets distributed as a prize. Here, let me switch to overhead actually. This is usually a prize for a lucky winner of a challenge or BeatToober awards winners, which I will go over in a moment. But we have something new this year. We don't have ghosts this year. Instead, we have something that kind of matches the rest of our merch. So let me introduce you all to this year's exclusive made by my mom merch prize item, and I'm going to tell you all about how you can get your hands on one. But you all know my studio and my home, I love hanging plants around, and y'all have seen the latest merch designs with the skulls and the planters. So this year we have our very own skull planters, crocheted, handmade by my mom. And not only are they just coming in this green color, but they come in several other colors, including purple. Now I just have two. I believe they come in orange, red, purple, green, and white. I believe those are the color combos that we have. So check this out. Just hanging. You could hang this in your studio. A plant you don't have to water, but can bring some spooky vibes to your studio. These are pretty dope. Now there's a good question in the chat. There's a good question in the chat that says, are they for sale too? I'm gonna get to that in a moment. Are they for sale too? Well, these are super limited, my friends. And let me draw your attention to one more page on the website, and I'll explain if they are indeed for sale. If you go to BeatToober.com and you click on awards, you will see that there are 8 award categories. There are 8 award categories. Best Collab, Best Dallas, Most Improved, Best Original, Best Live Performance, Best Video, Best Finger Drummer, and the Beast of BeatToober. Each of those award categories is eligible, or the winner of each category will be getting a big prize package. Some include some hardware, like I has contributed some headphones, so that's a reward for one of the award tiers. There's lots of software and plugins to give away as well, but also each winner of a BeatToober award will also win one of these custom skull plant hangers. Now, that being said, there are 8 award categories and Best Collab counts for 2. So there's 9. There are 9 of these to give away, and I have 14 total. And somebody who is quick with math will tell me what 14 minus 9 is. Please. I believe we'll have 5 remaining. I believe we'll have 5 remaining. So there's going to be 5 remaining that I'm going to put on my shop, on the same shop that I use for my sample pack store. There are going to be 5, and I believe I can probably do one of each color: red, orange, white, purple, green. I'll put one of each color on my shop, but they're not going up. They're not up yet. So you will just have to keep an eye out on my Instagram and my social media, and I will get these up. In fact, maybe I will launch them actually over the weekend. So the next time we live stream, I will put the remaining 5 on my shop. Does that sound cool to everybody? That way we can be in the same, it doesn't have to be like a random Instagram thing. But yes, the proceeds of which will go to the Music and Youth Initiative. So I haven't really decided how much I will price them at, but the pricing is going to be, just keep in mind that the pricing is for the Music and Youth Initiative. So it's more like making a donation rather than buying a small crochet item, you know what I mean? But it is made by my mom. It is a special limited edition item, handmade for BeatToober. So I'll price them accordingly. Maybe raffle one, maybe negatory, but it's better, I think, to raise some money with these rather than just give them away. And there's also lots of laws about raffles and stuff, which I try to just completely avoid here in the YouTube space. But on that front, my friends, I want to remind you, and we'll finish these announcements right now. I want to, like an eBay thing, negatory, not a bad idea, not a bad idea. I want to just remind you or announce that the nomination form is live because we're on the 21st day of BeatToober. So if you feel like you belong in one of these categories, you should win one of these categories, go fill out a nomination form. If you've seen a fellow community member uphold one of these categories, you think they should win, go ahead and fill out the nomination form. And don't forget that we have a bunch of other competitions going on in the Discord as well. So BeatToober.com/awards and BeatToober.com/bounty. No, BeatToober.com/bounty. And if you're ever wondering how to get in the Discord or anything about our, anything about BeatToober in general, like how about the merch and stuff, just BeatToober.com. That's easy enough to remember. BeatToober.com, link to the Discord, link to all the ways you can donate, including directly donating to the Music and Youth Initiative if there's not a donate button on this channel, including buying my sample packs, including becoming a channel member, direct donations here on the YouTube live stream, and then buying BeatToober merch, which I am rocking right now. So we're sticking with the skull and plant theme. So you could potentially be getting yourself a nice skull plant hanger and then some merch to match. The hat is sick. I agree. Where's the hat? These are all the plants, the plant hangers here for awards and for soon to be up for sale. And yeah, the hat is sick. You're right. I want a BeatToober hat like yours. Yeah, I wish we could make the brimless hats, but they're not really easy to make at all. Boom. Check that out. It's kind of hard for me to wear a brimmed hat on stream. Or I'm just not used to it, I suppose. What genre are we cooking up today, Christina? I haven't even thought of it. Kajichi Kapoor, who never responded to me in chat, never gave me the Instagram handle, so we might have to give away that prize again, unfortunately. We'll see. Automo says, I like Push more because it lets me not touch a laptop as much. Let's get into working with Move and all that stuff. But finally, any further questions about BeatToober logistics stuff? Please let me know in chat if you have any final questions, if there's any point of confusion. But if not, I would love to get into the meat and potatoes, too zoomed in, of the day and talk all about Move and Note and get into our 4-track challenge. King says, I made a full song just making beats for BeatToober. Would that be okay to share, or do I need to make shorter beat videos? I'm not sure what you mean. You can do whatever you want for BeatToober. If it's something that ends up getting shared on stream, we might not listen to the whole thing. Where can we submit the sample challenge video? Ask Mystery Beats. That depends which sample challenge you are talking about. But all of those are on Discord, actually. So, oh wow, I didn't realize I have this kind of screen here. Maybe we could use that today. What's good, Andre Von Zark? Nice to see you. The Lander one, yes. There are channels on Discord. Let me pop it up real quick. Don't be confused here on Discord. The final thing I'll talk about. You go to the BeatToober 2024 section. We got rules, the Halloween party, which is just the general chat. You can ask for help here. Then there are specific channels for specific bounties. I have not added one for the 4-track Ableton challenge yet because it's the first day we're really talking about it. So don't be one of those people who like hears about a competition on one day and does it in an hour and then submits. Just relax. You don't have to do it on the first day. You have until the 30th. Do you have a preference for the move or note, as in one or the other, or like them equally? I am very partial to a dedicated piece of hardware versus, even though I've been getting more into like iOS stuff, I have found myself very partial to working with a piece of hardware. Like, you know, the difference between working with Koala and SP404, for instance. But Note is still a very powerful app, which why don't we just jump into things now, actually. All right, let me zoom in here, zoom, and I'll do a split screen, which kind of makes more sense for this. Not that split screen, this one. It's all part of production. And if y'all have questions along the way, please let me know. I'm actually going to turn move off for now. And then we'll get to move in a minute, but let's start on Note, and it actually is kind of magical. Actually, let me show that off first. I'm going to turn move on again. So these sets, I'm in Ableton Note now, by the way. You can see, and let me know how it is seeing the screen in this view. I hope it's okay. Ableton Cloud, I can put projects in Ableton Cloud and they will magically appear on Move via the magic of the cloud. And then all these other sets are just sets that are local to the device. So if I hit play, so here's a live set that's made with Ableton Note. And let me know if y'all are hearing that fine, or if you need more volume. And let me also, let's just groove to that for a minute. But do not disturb on. How's the volume on that? Tad louder? I got you. We are lounging. I've got it running through my computer, so. There we go. Okay. I hope those levels are good. If not, I can pull them down. A bit out of focus? I got you. That should be pretty much in focus now. Skylar G says, wish elevators played music this chill. All right. But this little chill beat that I made on Ableton Note, let's say I want to get that to my Ableton Move. I started it on Note and I want to get it to Move. Currently, it's just stored locally on my iPad. I'm going to hit the ... and you notice there's an upload to Ableton Cloud button. And before I hit that, I want you to notice that here on the sets page on Move, I can select my different sets and the set name will pop up here. Set 13, set 15. I know it's probably a little small for you guys, but I do want to show, hopefully I can show the magic that happens when I hit upload to Ableton Cloud. And now that set gets sent to the Ableton Cloud. And if I keep an eye here on my screen, it should take a moment syncing. It's currently still syncing. I think also I want to make sure being in do not disturb mode doesn't affect that. Hopefully not. Let me turn off focus mode in that case, just in case that is a factor. Give that a moment to sync. And as I did it just before the stream, what actually happens is it just shows up right on the move. But I might be on the wrong Wi-Fi. Let's see. If I put those side by side, does that work? Hi, John Jill. Nice to see you. Welcome. I can totally see this on a hotel with a drink. Yeah, for sure. Let's push play on that while it's syncing. I would love to see your sample chopping process for Note because I can't figure it out, but on Move it's so easy. Yes, I would say it's going to be easier on Move for sure because you've got the hardware to work with. What's up, Jersey boy? Nice to see you. John Jill says, making beats on Note as we speak. Are you going to do our challenge, John Jill? That's the question. All right, let's see. I'm not sure why that one's taking a while. Let me see if it's just my internet, and I'll try uploading another set to the cloud to see if it's specific. Remove that from the cloud. We'll do a quick restart of the app because as I've been doing this actually, it's been happening basically instantly, but who's to say? Perhaps the network is a little slow at the moment. Check my Wi-Fi. Sorry, just trying not to dox myself, so apologies if I'm popping in and out as I open up different menus on my iPad here. All right, I think we're on the proper Wi-Fi. Let's just try that one more time. Let's try to get this set to Ableton Cloud. And if it doesn't sync immediately, we'll bounce off that. Oh, there we go. Set 10. Should be in Ableton Cloud now. Is that true? Let's find it. And if you notice, oh, you can't see my screen. If you notice, there are set 10 downloaded. Perfect timing. Boom. So just like that, sent it to the cloud. I had to do a quick app restart, but that could have just been a momentary error. Set 10 is here, and it's got a little cloud icon next to it. And I'll play this for you here. The set has gone from Note to Ableton Move. So I do think that is a little bit magical. And if I do that again, let's see if it just happens quicker this time around. Upload to Ableton Cloud, that's set 17, another set from there. And if you watch the screen here, set 17 downloaded. So just like that, it happened in a snap. I think I just had to connect to the proper Wi-Fi network or something. My iPad was being slow. But that's the magic we're talking about. And we'll do that in real time in a moment. So let's go ahead and start a new live set. I think this one is actually empty. One of these is, let's go to set 12. And let's talk about a workflow. You're hearing the metronome from Note at the moment. So in the spirit of the challenge, we're going to stick with 4 tracks. Jersey Boy says that's a cool feature. I agree. I thought it was pretty magical when it first happened. Does Note support more than 4 tracks? If so, what would happen with the export? Good question, Cameron. So if you go from Note to Move and you have more than 4 tracks, it will just read the first 4 tracks. So in a way, we're kind of doing this not completely backwards, but you could start working on Move, then send it to Note, add more, then send it to live, then finish. That would almost be a natural progression, but I'm going to show you why I'm doing it in the reverse order, which is something that makes a lot of sense to me. So here I've loaded up set 12 and I've already put some samples here. And what's interesting is all of these samples I've imported from an external source, but some of these are empty. So a workflow that I've been kind of getting into is like building up a kit here, because I also have access to things like Splice on my iPad. So if I go into my user library and I go to imported sounds, I have a bunch of sounds that have already been imported from Splice or other sources. Cool. So I like that sound. We've got that imported here into this drum rack, which I do kind of want to play with the idea of taking these individual little blips and using them with 16 pitches. That's one of the advantages of Move. Back, back, back. Done finding a sample. Let's go here. We can mess with this sample. Make something glitchy out of it. We can also make this longer because this is a longer sample by turning up the decay. And Note just got updated with the new drum sampler. So instead of drum racks being filled with simpler, they're now filled with drum sampler, which gives you access to a different approach to processing samples in a drum rack, including this stretch effect. So all this to say, I'm just building a kit here, and let me show you actually how easy it is to just build up simple sequences. So here I'm looking at empty session view, and we can have different clips in session view, but without even having to hit record, I can do MIDI capture. And it just took what I played and automatically recorded it, basically found the tempo, even though I played it quite out of time. Let's quantize. Boom, 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 boom. Let's keep that for now. But you saw how easy that was to just lay down an idea. And then say I wanted to add something on top of this loop. It's not actually recording, as you can see, but it is preparing and showing that, oh, you can actually capture that idea. If it's not something that you liked, you can just clear that and start doing that again. And it will show these individual notes, which this pad doesn't even have a sample on it, but it's showing the notes. We could hit add and it would add them to the MIDI sequence. So that's a really cool thing about Note, is that it's kind of like always listening to what you play. And let's continue on with sound selection, because this is actually one of my favorite things to do when going from Note to Move. If you are like having your coffee in the morning, or if you do the wake up and like start doom scrolling in the morning, try to do this instead. Open up Note and just do your sound selection process. So like I already did, I imported a bunch of samples into this drum kit that we'll use later on Move probably. Then go through and pick some instruments and start tweaking them. And in Note, you can change the effects. We have chorus, ensemble, and reverb here. If you say didn't want the chorus on this, you can change that. So we could change that to, let's say, if we wanted to, we could add a delay actually. That could be a bit of fun. Let's do a 16th note ping pong. Cool. So now we have a flute instrument here. And what I'm essentially doing is just building up, taking advantage of the big screen on my iPad, or if it's your phone in your case. And I'm just doing a little sound design. Even though there are some sound design things you can do on Move, I'm taking advantage of the big screen real estate on the iPad to dial in my sound before moving on to Move. All right, so this could be our kind of lead instrument. That sounds pretty good. Now this is a sampled flute sound. So it's not like this is a synth or anything, which is another cool thing about Note and Move, is that you can create instruments out of any sample. So we've got the flute. Let's move on and see what this is. Analog warm pad. I like this, but I want to possibly tweak the envelope, or we might just browse through some different sounds. If y'all have specific things that you want to see in the app, please let me know as we dig in. But we'll do a bit of sound selection, a bit of sound design, and then we'll move on we'll move on. We'll move on to move. I messed up the low pass envelope here. Let's browse a few sounds here in the pads. Voice like pad. I think this is dreamy. I have been making relatively dreamy music lately. On these devices. What do we have? Chorus ensemble. I think it's good to have that thickness. Can actually dial up the warmth here. All these macros will be macros that we can actually use on move as well. That feedback makes it a little creepy. I like that. It's kind of bubbly and nice. And then we'll just keep the reverb. I think the reverb is sounding pretty good. Nice. And I might slow down the attack. Boom. All right, so far we've got a flute for a lead, which hopefully doesn't get too swallowed up by that pad, but we can switch it on move if we want. And then we don't have any bass line yet. So we could try to come up with a bass or find a bass. And just like we did for the drum rack, if I wanted to capture that random idea that I just played, I just had to hit one button. And it just automatically captured it. But that was just a random idea, so we don't have to do that. John Jill says, I need the ability to sidechain and I'd be happy. LOL. Me too, my friend. I hope they can add something like that in, because yeah, it's just wherever the drum rack is, like drum rack, pad 1, just do it by default. So I never have to set it up again and give every track just a little bit of sidechain. Same as like panning. I feel like volume, panning, and sidechain are like my bare necessities. All right, I don't mind this dobro sound, but like I said, I think we want to jump back and find a bass to fill out the sound here. And if I may, can I just show you all something funny again? Because maybe some of you missed it the last time. I made a video in 2017. No, in 2016. This is crazy. I made a video in 2016, 7 years ago, with my music tech predictions for 2017. The predictions included, first of all, Ableton 10 hadn't come out yet, so I was predicting that Ableton 10 would come out in 2017. I can't remember if I'm right or not, if that came out then. I predicted an Ableton iOS app in 2016. I predicted it would come out in 2017. And I predicted a push micro device in the same video. And here we are in the year of our Lord, 2024. Zoom out on this camera. And we're on Ableton Live 12. We have an Ableton iOS app, and we have not a push micro, but an Ableton Move, which at the time of making that video, standalone devices were not even a thing. So I wasn't even thinking in the realm of standalone devices. Well, of course, besides MPCs or little groove boxes, but we never imagined we'd have the DAW in a box style stuff that we have currently. But also, I grew a beard. So there's that. Oh, how the times have changed. All right, zoom it in. Let me get you all situated again. I just had to call my shot again, you know? I want to give you all the iPad that I can as we pick a bass sound. Huh. Robert says, it took only 8 years to develop your prediction into an app. Who knows? Maybe it was already under development. Maybe it just takes a while. Miguel says, I'm checking the Ableton Note website, and it tells there that I can get Ableton Live 12 Lite for free if I get the Note app. Do you know anything about that? Yes, I believe it's right here in the app, actually. Let me back out for a second. I forget where to find it, but I think it's, let me back out of the set for a moment. ... Yeah, if you go to this sub menu here, there's a Get Ableton Live Lite button. So that is true. Another perk of getting Note, which is only $5 on the App Store. All right, I'm really happy with this sound design stuff. So like I said, if this could replace your morning doom scrolling routine, try it out. The Simpsons. Do some sound design, some sound selection. It's a part of the music making process that you can separate from the actual music making. Like you don't have to just sit down, pick the sounds, make the music all in one sitting. You can separate your sound selection and your sound design process. Let me try to find a basic bass sound here, and then we're going to jump over to move. Curious to know, if you're watching in chat, are you going to be participating in this 4-track challenge? Electric bass soft. We could get something like that. Not raw. Not sure if that'll go with our other sounds, but there's a lot of options here. I actually really like this sound. Let me change something here. I know what's happening. That's better. I was getting a little bit of latency and I was not understanding why, but I fixed it. Hybrid bass. Sounds a little bit like a synth, a little bit like an acoustic bass. I'll take it. Let's up the release time so it's nice and long. Not too much flutter. Great, I'll take that. So what do we have so far? We have a random kick drum, right? Boom, 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 boom. So let's start with that, and let's head over to our pads. Not the bass, the pads. Let's see if we can come up with something easy. I want to come up with something moody. Doesn't even have to be perfect. Just keep that one note droning. And let's edit this. Get rid of that note. Just super fluid. We can probably get rid of the metronome at this point. Instead of lifting the drums in the mixer, I might go to the sample, just make the kick a little louder. All right, I really want to add the bass line on the move itself, so I'll leave the bass line for now. Actually, I'm hearing this in a minor key. whatever. We don't have to do too much on note because I think I've demoed that enough, and y'all are probably really here to see move. So all I have to do now, we have this basic musical idea, this pad sound, this 4 to the floor kick, 2 clips, and then our other sounds that we selected but we didn't create musical ideas for. That is getting synced to the cloud, and it says it was synced 2 seconds ago, so it's just updated. Hitesh, we probably won't do an in real time challenge today, I've decided, because I've got a lot to move through between the app and Ableton Move. Oh, a lot to move through. I'm not doing that on purpose, I promise. Okay, so whatever. We can throw Note to the side now. Toss it aside. And then hook it up to our computer. Let's get this going here. Zoom out a little bit so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. Possibly darken it so you can see the pads better. The pads look good in real life. Of course, they look a little bit different on camera with all these lights, etc. So that was set 12. Let's see if that has synced yet. Unsure where, because it was already on the move. So, oh, set 12 is there. And there it is. Just finding set 12 on my move. It's got the little cloud icon. And it's already here. So we just did the sound design, came up with a couple quick ideas, and it's already on the move. So I'm just gonna do one more plug there, because I really think this is like a lifestyle thing that if we as musicians and as artists adopted in our lives could be huge. Just in the morning, instead of grabbing and scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on TikTok or wherever you scroll, just open up the Note app. Do some sound design, choose some samples, load up some kits, make that part of your morning routine if you don't already have a healthy morning routine. And I think it can do a lot for you probably. So if I go to that drum kit, there's going to be some empty. I think I have to overall. There we go. I'm going to actually transpose this. Where's my sample? And since I'm hearing this in a minor key, I think my move is currently set to being in major. Let me just go ahead and go to the key settings and go to minor. And now I have this, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I have this sample playing 16 pitches. Let's go back to the sample here, quick transpose. Never hit record, just go right into capturing that. I think it's nice to have the saturator on there, but I might go ahead and swap it out for a delay. Oh, I know what it is. I'll go back to my samples. I think that's pretty fun. Because I could even process that kick with punch. we're making some minimal stuff here, but does everybody get that kind of workflow, jumping from note to move? Any questions on that? And then any questions on 16 pitches? Because we are taking this single percussion hit. There's a little harmony in that percussion. I'm loving the replace scrolling with beat making advice. I mean, it's just like we have these tools in our hands. We can use them for something more than scrolling. Though entertainment time and like checking out stuff on social media is not like on its face terrible. How we interact with it is what's important. I mean, and even if I wanted to get rid of this pad sound, just bring the track volume down. I could have so much fun with just this drum kit. Corey asks a good question. Do you get effects per sample or per track? So in a drum rack, you get 2 effects that are return effects, that are send effects. You send each sample to these effects, which you can choose to send or not to send. Like that. Actually, here, let me back up for a moment. Back it up. Back it up. Back. So we have all these effects to choose from. We have channel EQ, chorus ensemble, delay, dynamics, redux, reverb, saturator, etc. Want to tune that. And actually, since I've already got this drum loop going, I'm just going to quickly duplicate it so I can make more ideas on top of that. And we can double our loop. So right now we have a 2-bar loop, which is indicated by the little bars on the screen there. There's 1 bar here scrolling through, and then a 2nd bar. If I just do this little button combo here, we double the loop, and now we have 4 bars. So as I add this other percussion on top, we get a 4-bar loop. And then I can quickly quantize. My current quantization is set to 50%, which you can change. You can set it to be 100% if you want. It's in the workflow settings. Let's take this sample and just turn it down a little bit. Cool. And then it's almost like a hidden menu, I would say. If I hold shift and I go into the filter and setup bank, I get a whole nother set of macros, which is my filter. Remember, we did a lot of this sound design in Ableton Note already. We have a choke that we can set up. We can do a velocity to filter relationship. So like the harder you press it, the more the filter opens, or in reverse of that if you want. And then there's panning as well. This is how I find out every stream that my headphones are on backwards. Hitesh says, how is Move as an Ableton controller? I'm still getting used to controlling Ableton Live with it. The way you navigate around between 4, 4, 4 and tracks, it can be improved, but I want to have a clear understanding and make sure I'm not just floundering with it and giving wrong information. Let's turn up this track volume. Probably turn up the actual sample. I have muted this track, that's why. I'm gonna put my notes in key. Let's play with the delay sound here. Jump into this bass because I want to add bass first, I think. And I actually, if anybody saw my Instagram video today, I was toying around last night with this note layout and making basses. You can get really groovy with it. Let's dial in this bass sound. Again, even though we did sound design in Ableton Note. Oh, Cameron said capture. Yes, I could have captured it. You're right. But we can just play it again. I want to do a little more sound design here. So we have things like wave position because this is a wavetable synth here, which is kind of crazy to think about that we have drift and wavetable in a box. Like that. And what do we have for effects? On this we have a reverb and a saturator, so we could get even more gritty with this probably. Tom says, if you're looking for future video ideas, sound design on the Move 101 and 102 would be great. Well, I would say I'm not the best person to go to for sound design. Also, I would say sound design is very simple on the Move when it comes down to just tweaking these macros and things like that. But I hear you for sure. And also, Ableton has released a lot of good walkthrough videos. In my Dunk Funk, I missed the $10 donation. Can y'all spam me if I miss a donation? Thank you to Dunk Funk for $10 for the kids. Big round of applause. Thank you for that big dono. Much appreciated. We are raising money all month long for the Music and Youth Initiative. So if you want to pick up some merch, donate here on this YouTube video, pick up a sample pack. Basically, if you've ever watched my tutorials and you've been thankful for them, if you want to leave me a tip, don't leave me a tip. Donate to this good cause. That's what we're doing for the kids all month long. So that's what BeatToober is all about, giving back to the community and then us as a community coming together for a good cause. So can somebody update me on the big donation number here on YouTube? Because we also have other donations that have come in via like matched donations, or like Jamstick, who's donated $1,000 to the Music and Youth Initiative just on their own accord. So that number you see here on YouTube is actually a smaller amount than what we've it raised in total this year for the Music and Youth Initiative. $1,125. If anybody wants to throw in a $5 dono to get us up to $1,130, even if anybody wants to, if 5 people dropped in $5, we'd be at $1,150. That would be great, but that's all it takes to make a difference, folks. A $5 dono, even a $1 dono. And if you can't donate, there's no worries, no pressure, because you can help by spreading the word about the streams, spreading the word about the event, spreading the word about Music and Youth Initiative. So all of the ways you can support, including never even having to contribute $1. But if you can, it would be greatly appreciated. And Connor Moore rounds us up with an additional $5 dono. Thank you so much, Connor, who's been putting work in all BeatToober long. Thank you so much for that dono. All right, spam me, chat. If I miss a donation, don't let me miss it again. Sometimes I can get 2 in the moment. But let's see what we can do with this bass line. I've been trying to get psychiatrists at work to throw some cash at the Music and Youth Initiative. Let you know how it goes. Yes. Canvass your workplaces. Let them know what a great cause we are contributing to. Are we getting a little bit of a hot signal there, my friends? I apologize for that. If we're maxing out, please let me know. Here we go. 2, ready. Record for real now. Didn't like that. You know what I think? I think actually the release time on my bass is a little too long. So I'll just hit undo, which gets rid of the recorded clip. We'll go to release. Here we go. Wow, and Negatory with a $20 dono. Thank you so much for donating to the Music and Youth Initiative, making us, what did we hit in that case? We hit the $1,150 mark here on YouTube. Thank you so much, Negatory. Drop those hearts in chat. Yeah, I forget, you could just spam this heart button, I guess. I never do that, but I see the hearts come in. That's cool. Thank you so much, Negatory. Big dono for the kids. If you want to be like Negatory, $5, $10, $20 goes to making sure kids get access to cool instruments, DAWs, MIDI controllers, all that good stuff. In my opinion, the more artists we have, the better world we have, and the younger you can start. You all, some of you all are a bit older and started on your musical journey at a little bit of an older age, which is fine. But I bet a lot of you are thinking, I wish I could have gotten into this sooner. That's what Music and Youth Initiative provides for young people around the country. Kayla Yu with a $10 donation for the kids. Thank you so much for your generosity, Kayla Yu. Much appreciated. Let's keep it going here because I haven't even gotten this bass line down yet. I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Miguel says, so what you're doing right now on the hardware can also be done on the Note app. That is correct. What I'm doing on the hardware right now can also be done on the Note app. And this project came from the Note app, including sounds. The difference to me between using this hardware and using the Note app is, I guess it's just that. It's having a dedicated piece of hardware that to me feels like a closer connection to the music making, and to not have to be using, the same device that I do social media for and stuff like that, even though I still do make music on the iPad, but a dedicated device is really great. Also built-in mic here. I don't know, what do you think the advantages are, folks at home, working on a hardware device versus working in an app, even though the apps are so powerful? If some of you prefer one over the other, would love to hear your thoughts on why. So here's just like a single octave bass line. Jump into session mode here though. Let's get ready to lay down a new bass line. Well, with dual octave, that kind of octave thing. I'm almost getting it down. I just need to get the... That's pretty good. A little out of time though. What do we think? Miguel says, oh, where is it? No, Matthew says, just wondering, is the synth pad a dedicated track or part of your drum kit? It's a good point, because it's part of the, it's a dedicated track, which we could layer on top of, or we could definitely have as a sample in the drum rack. So I could be saving a whole track if I'm just going to use that single sample, which comes in here. No worries, Robert. Sometimes credit card companies are tricky, but thank you for your donation anyway. Even if it says pending, we appreciate you. We know it's going to go through, so thank you for donating to the kids. What's up, Dungeon Master? Thanks for checking in with us here. Things are going well. Could you mute it all and resample the bass into a drum rack spot and then keep building the track? You could. One of the things you're going to run into though is I do think the longest you can play a sample. I was doing some investigating on this over the weekend. I do think even though you can load longer samples into a drum rack, I believe the longest a sample will play in a drum rack is 60 seconds. I believe. Somebody can challenge me on that if that's not true. But I believe you can throw like a 2-minute sample in there, but you need to select a 1-minute segment or else it will just stop after a minute. But to bring our attention back, 60 seconds is the limit, correct? Yes, yes, yes. Lucas S. with a €15 donation for the kids. Thank you so much for the dono. Much appreciated. So here we have another instrument, right? And I should probably tune it. Oh, it's already in tune. Lucas says, keep up the amazing groove. I will try, my friend. I will try. We haven't even gotten to the part where I send this project over to Ableton Live, which is like the trifecta, but we'll get to that in a moment. I want to up the release time, the decay actually. Cool, and I'm also gonna filter this sound. With a high pass. Cool. Let's get that to the reverb send. One thing I really wish we had on Move that we don't have yet, it would be great if it comes in a future update, probability. Really wish we had some probability. But perhaps in the future, if we beg for it, perhaps in the future. I'm just using that stretch effect on everything, and I think it's so cool. Yeah, if we bring the volume of that sample down, I think that could work. That's not what I want. I want the sample to go down. Just I want to throw that in the sequence, maybe second or third bar. 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, 1. We've already got that one going. All right, some questions or some context added in here. Kayla, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Oh yeah, of course, Kayla. You that was a chat from a while ago. Sorry, and thank you for your donation earlier too. I jumped too far back in my chat. Thank you for saying you are like a fresh air. Your vibes are great. I appreciate it. Hopefully, we can keep the fresh air vibes going. Yeah, Wislow says it will load 4-minute samples into a slot, just can only pick 1 minute of, I believe, is the limit. Yes, in my investigations, that is the same. I believe that is correct. Is there an option to loop the sample to make a synth/pad? Yes, you can loop a sample. Is there a sample we're not using here? Yeah, we're using all the samples. But we could add another sample, actually. So, not chords. Let's add a note. There are different notes here. 808s, no. Let's see how far we can push. Just some kind of simple sample. Something that doesn't have a lot of attack to it. Let's just see if we can make that work. And now if I go here and if I go to the... actually if I go here... Yes, because it's in... We can get a playback effect, which means we can get loop. So you could technically do this. I think this would be easier to do in live. Because you're not going to really get a clear sustaining loop. But let me investigate that more, because I bet there is a workaround. Oh god, I don't want that to be looping anymore. I bet there are good little hacks to do with the drum rack and the drum sampler, etc. So let me investigate that more. But you're on the right track in trying to find ways to really make the most of drum rack on something that's only quote-unquote 4 tracks. But as you can hear... We've got different melodic stuff happening from the drum rack. We're kind of filling out the space a lot. And again, I don't think their intention with Move is for you to completely finish a track on it, but you know how it goes. Rashane, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Asul, why do you think so many content creators have posted unfavorable impressions of the device, i.e. not good enough as a mini push and too limited as standalone? That's a great question. I have a couple takes on that. Number one is that it could just be their preference. They could just say, I actually don't prefer this and I prefer a different workflow, and it's not actually a push mini, which it's not a push mini. If Ableton wanted to release a exact push mini, they would probably make some different choices, though it does still work as a controller for live. And I think the bigger reason that many content creators are posting unfavorable impressions is because many of them... No, I won't say that. I would say that it is much easier to get people to watch your video if it has a negative slant to it. Now, that doesn't mean that all negative videos are disingenuous, and that doesn't mean that there's no criticism to be levied at the move. There definitely are. criticisms, fair criticisms, and things that I hope that will come in an update. However, I do think that people have sort of been trained by algorithms to have a certain type of opinion, whereas I come from a time and a generation where things like Move, maybe I'm boomer sounding, but like things like Move are like things we could only dream of. And for any creative tool that comes out, unless it's like so out of pocket, like overpriced, or if the features are terrible, if it just has like a baseline level of features and like you can do certain things with it, I'm thinking about the possibilities within the limitations rather than just being like, oh, well, if I check the box, the Electron thing has this feature and this one doesn't have this feature, and the Roland thing doesn't have this feature, but this one does have this feature. And that's not what music making is about. I think people have really lost the plot in this YouTubeification of gear. You know, my channel is meant to be showcasing me as an artist, interacting with different music technology, but making my music and then showing you by way of making my music how I use the tools and how I use and the process. So it can be educational and my own artistic expression. There are many channels that have unfortunately popped up now that are people just doing commentary rather than being actual artists. So just a PSA for all you at home, and you can tell me you agree or disagree, but just look at people's channels and see if they are actually making music or if they are just talking. And then look at their channels and see if they say something negative about literally every new release, or if they choose to like share positivity with their communities, which I feel like is a thing that's getting lost as well. Because even if I don't love a piece of gear or something, or even if a gear has limitations, I'm still thinking about the possibilities. So that's what I want to share with you all. What are the possibilities within these limitations? If Move came out and it was there was some fundamental problem, or if Move came out and it cost $1,000, we'd be having a different conversation. However, it didn't. It's an accessible device that many people are using at the moment. Many people got one right away and are enjoying their time with it. If you notice, a lot of the negative reaction came from A, people who do not have a Move or did not have a Move, and B, came out before people had even gotten their hands on a Move. So what does that tell you? It tells you you can get great Reddit karma by being just a troll and being super negative about everything, and you can get a lot of YouTube views by doing the same thing. So those are my general thoughts. I think people initially in this space confused negativity for honesty. Oh, that person said something negative about Ableton Move. That's because they're not in it with the company. When meanwhile, we're here being sponsored by Ableton, and it will be really easy for somebody to say, oh, he's just a shill for Ableton, so he's telling you what they want you to hear, which could be a cynical take. However, if you go search my video in reverse chronological order, you will see that I've been using Ableton Live for years, that I've been yearning for a small push-like or even standalone device from Ableton Live from Ableton for years, and that my history says, oh, it would make sense if Ableton Move came out and TAETRO was super excited. Like, nobody should be confused that I'm excited about a standalone portable Ableton Live hardware device. But I feel like it's a lot easier to have the negative cynical take, which unfortunately content creators in this space capitalize on, even while we're in the midst of having a charity event, a month-long charity event. So that is why I think there are so many people that just reacted to the launch trailer, that had the device for less than a week, less than a day, and just wanted to get their video out and wanted to have a hot take. And there are some people with respectable channels that have valid criticisms, and Move is not for them. Those are not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the React Andes in this space that are like, oh, if I just say something negative and share a hot take, I'll get lots of clicks. So who's really scamming you? The person that is sponsored by a company who, prior to being sponsored by them, they used their software, used their hardware, bought things with their own money, or the person who's just capitalizing on the fact that times are tough. And maybe your boss treats you like shit at work. Maybe you're not making enough money to cover ends meet, and it's easy to be mad on the internet. So who's really dangerous in that situation? The person capitalizing on your anger or potential tough times, or the person who's just trying to share positivity and help you be more creative? And by the way, helping you be more creative could mean buying a free app, buying a $5 app, finding a different app that's free, buying some hardware, or not buying some hardware. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. So sorry, that was a little rant there, but that's something I feel really strongly about, and I don't speak much on it because that crowd that is angry and cynical is way louder and way more mean than the crowd that's here watching now, which is very, very positive. But you all also like have a rational understanding of real life. So if they want to hate mob in the comments, if I want to make a statement like this, they will do that, and they will make, and it will not be good for my mental health. I'll say that, even though I know you all are there, being super supportive. But again, here we are in the midst of a charity event. No time for the cynicism. Is it O'Sullivan? Perhaps 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for the £5 donation. Excuse me. Those are pounds, I believe. Thank you so much. And shout out to Robert. Robert, looks like your donation finally came through with the £10. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay, cool. What do we have here? Gear tubers can be a bit too much. Yes, I really don't understand the... First of all, there's the tech side of it. You can love the tech side of it, but I feel like some people are literally just in it to talk. It's like, do you use this stuff to make music, my friend? Or are you just here to like talk about the next free plugin or criticize every single device that drops ever? It's like crazy. I feel the same way about YouTube. More music, less gear rant. Well, if you go to my channel page, hopefully you see a healthy combination of performances, tutorials, and even not a lot of reviews. And when I do reviews, or I do an overview of a piece of gear, like the Push 3, for instance, or I've got a P6 video coming out tomorrow, it's centered around music making. It's not centered around talking. It's centered around my experience making music with the thing, not me going over the manual with a checklist. Has this, doesn't have this. Would you even enjoy making a full song on a tiny portable device? That's something y'all should ask yourselves if you're buying a little music making device. A lot of good comments in the chat. Thanks for that. I think it's very important to give contrast to the crazy hate. Well, I appreciate it. We're here live, so. All right, let's get back into the nitty gritty though. Can't find in the manual, so asking here. Sometimes I miss the 1 when playing capture. So I get, let's say, 5 bars with bar 1 mostly empty. How do I delete just 1 bar and keep the rest of the clip? That is a great question. I will have to dig a little deeper into figuring that out, Dracus, but I think probably your best bet, if I was in that position, because I don't believe there's an easy way to like set beat 1 bar 1. I wonder if you can delete an individual bar. Let's experiment for a second. I'll see if there's an intuitive way to do it. To do this, I'm going to go into session view. I'm going to duplicate this clip. If I wanted to delete a bar in this clip, let's go back. Let's get out of session view. I wonder, I probably can just delete notes instead of bars, right? This is a great question. I'll try not to investigate this live here on stream probably because I don't want to bore you with my general troubleshooting investigation, but I will look into that. It's a good question. For a workaround, even though this isn't a complete fix, what I might consider doing is making an empty 4-bar loop and just having that ready to go and record into that. I know that doesn't solve your capture problem, but you know, that could be that would be a in the moment workaround until I really figure that out. Thomas in the chat, what's good? I hope you're well. Miss you, man. Curious your favorite features on Move so far. That's a great question. I don't know if I have one particular favorite feature. Oh, no. Easily, it's the amount of stuff you can do with the drum rack. The fact that I can take this sample and play a melody with it very much expands the capability of the device. Let me see, release. Get a little flute action. I want to play something less meandering actually. And maybe actually this isn't the sound, so even though I picked the sound in Note earlier, let's dive in. Can we make this work? We dial up that reverb. Also, the more I use it, the more I get fluent with jumping across these macros and knowing what the macros are for the different devices. I think there's a noise. Yeah, there's a noise on this flute. And then let's bring the overall track volume down. Oh, see, it captured a lot there, so I can see definitely a need for that to shorten the bar length. But watch this with capture. I'm not going to record. I'm just going to play and play some notes. Now I've captured that clip, and hopefully you can see there the red lights. If I kill one of my lights here. If you can see some red lights here, it's because it also captured the automation, which I think is really cool. I'm going to swap the saturator for a delay. Duplicate that. Lucas says, do you have a tip for writing a good bass line like this one? Well, you know, this one kind of came out of being able to take advantage of the note layout here, because what you have are octaves. And I think what makes that a quote-unquote good bass line is that it kind of mimics how a bass player would naturally play. So that bounciness between octave is a natural thing to do on the bass. Fifths is also natural. If you start doing lots of big leaps, it gets to be unnatural. Not that in electronic music we have to mimic real instruments, but that is a thing to factor in. So I'm literally just playing octaves with the occasional like walk down, and I'm always landing back down on where I'm going. The notes are going back to a home base kind of. So depending on your progression, you can do similar things with motion. Automo says Nervous Cooks has a good video that I followed. Nervous Cooks is doing great work on YouTube. I agree. He's got really good tutorials out there for Koala, and now he's got Move. So Tom says to edit a recorded bar, use the left right arrows to select the bar, and you can use the step sequencer to add notes. You can delete a bar out of a loop. It's a multi-step process. It's on section 12 of the Move manual. Nice. Okay, so it is there. It's just something I'll have to learn. I haven't tried much sampling into it yet, though. I don't think we'll get into that today, but maybe we'll be able to do a future Move stream. Maybe next weekend or the weekend coming up. All right, we spent time doing a little bit of ranting and really doing different things with this track. That little glitziness on top. Why don't we get this onto the computer? And then don't forget, we're going to do a giveaway at the end of today's stream as well. So let me show you how easy this is. It's a slightly different process when we talk about going from the app to Move. So let's now go from Move to our computer. So basically, I should have mentioned this as well, but Move is saving your work all along the way. So I can open up a new set. Here's another track I made. Jump between different sets. Okay, and now you can use the Move Manager, which is in the web browser. Hold on, I have too many tabs open. Close. Let me go to move.local. Okay, so all you do in your browser is go to move.local. And then from here, you can look at your samples, your recordings, presets, which you can upload. I don't have any presets uploaded yet, but I think I will do that in the future. If I go to sets, I can see that set 12, which we were just working on, is right there. And if I click the download button, I can, what's the best way for me to do this? I could drop it into that project. Yeah, let's just open it up. Don't save, leave in place. That was just what we were using earlier. And now what we have here is exactly what we were just working on, but on Ableton Live. So you can see that all the clips are here. So I added a layer of that synth on top. I had a more simple drum loop there. And then we have the non-octave version of the bass line. And you can see that all those drum sounds are laid out here in the kit. And this is actually a good opportunity to look at what's happening in this clip. I actually have no idea where that pitch automation is happening. I'll have to dive deeper into that as well, because it doesn't look like transposition is being edited there. I have no idea how we're getting the multiple notes in. Can you show me arrangement view? Yeah, so obviously with move and with note, you're pretty much strictly working in session view, but if you wanted to jump from one to the other, or if you wanted to end in live, which is probably the most natural thing, we could take this scene, boom, drop it into arrangement view, and we could start building up a track from here. And of course, here in live, we have no track limitation. We have our plugins available to us. We have other sounds available to us. And what you can see, oh, did I even have to use the Move Manager to get this set? Maybe not. Maybe yes? I'm not sure. It's all confusing. So I can actually, so the one thing I'm yearning for that I wish we had here in on Ableton Move, but we don't, is sidechain compression. So if I jump in here, now that I've come up with my idea. Also, I feel like this process, we did a lot of chatting, but I feel like this is a much faster process than, you know, the amount of time it took us, for the simple fact that we were having conversations, we were ranting. Get a little sidechain action going here. But now, essentially, and I can mix. Could have mixed better before. But now I have a song that I can continue to work on, and I didn't even take advantage of like having a bunch of different scenes and things like that. I just came up with the basic idea. But if you were on the move, whether you woke up and instead of doom scrolling, you used your app to like do some sound design, and then maybe on your lunch break at work, you either continued using the app or you got to move because you enjoy working with hardware, like some of you said in chat earlier. You just pull this out, you come up with some basic ideas, come home at night or the weekend rolls around, you transfer your projects over, you'd be like, let me turn this into something. I'm not sure about this question, but arrangement view isn't going to give you control of where the notes are placed or anything. I'm not sure what you mean. In arrangement view, I think this is a basic Ableton Live question. Say we bring the drum loop into arrangement view. You can still edit the notes of this drum clip. You have your note view here. This is how you edit notes. You still have access to the loop, so I could duplicate this and say, oh, I don't want the kick in this section. So then we have the kick here. And then we go into a section with no kick. So you can still work that way. You can work completely in arrangement view, basically. Fake it by resampling using volume automation. Yeah, I hate that as a workaround, but that is true. That is a workaround. But you see, Wislow, this is the mentality I feel like most people should have. It's like, oh, it doesn't have this, but I could do this instead. That doesn't mean I'm not going to say, hey, Ableton, add sidechaining to the move, you know, amongst other things. But when there's a will, there's a way. That's all I have to say. Best thing, you can move the samples from the drum track to an entire new track. You can move the samples from the drum track to an entirely new track. I'm not 100% sure what that means. Perhaps you're right. I think I know what you mean. But yeah, cool. Any final thoughts here on Move, Note, this little ecosystem? I think we're living in a music tech world that I could have never imagined way back when I was making predictions in 2016. And it's a world that I'd be very happy to be in if I could tell myself, if I could travel back in time and tell myself in 2016, standalone devices are going to be going crazy. We're going to be on Live 12.1. There's going to be pitch correction in Ableton Live 12.1. There's going to be a standalone push, a standalone move. I wouldn't even know what to think. Automo says, I copy a project to a new slot, resample in that to add 3 more tracks like vocal layers and stuff. Then I open and merge both projects in Ableton, which preserves MIDI and automation. Boom. Solved. GG easy. Yeah. You do get a lot of sets. Like if you just look at the move here, these are all empty set slots that I haven't used, and I can probably get rid of the projects that are the example projects, and I can get rid of some of my old projects as well. But you can combine different sets for sure, because you can change instantly, I believe. Let me find it. Oh, am I hooked up? Oh, I don't have sound coming through. Let's just test that for a moment. Try that again. 5 and 6, record arm. So if I go from this to this. So think about transitioning between songs in that way. I think I personally still feel like I'm still scratching the surface with Move, and I think with every piece of gear you learn its quirks and you learn its limitations and you learn how to push those limitations. But I'm still working my way through the manual. But in general, the ecosystem that we're in now is like kind of crazy. If I'm in the waiting room, if I got to go to the doctor's, if I'm waiting somewhere, I don't have social media on my phone anyway. I pull out Ableton Note, and then I'm actually leaving. I'm going on a short work trip this week, and I'm going to bring Move along with me. I would never bring Push with me, by the way, on a trip like this, because it's like so heavy and I would need a special bag for it. But Move is a device that I can just put in my normal backpack and not have to worry about it. So I want to bring it with me. Maybe some airplane beat making, even though my flight's not that long. We'll see. Thoughts on Koala and Note? Which one for which kind of producer? If you're heavy into samples, Koala is probably going to be the way to go, because that is just a straight up sampling. It's born of the legacy of the 404, right? Meanwhile, if you like me, I like a combination of synth sounds and sampling. I think Note is for you, because there's a lot of built-in instruments and built-in presets in that. Some types of sounds are difficult to get with samples. Skylar says, I'm new to Live, but have only worked in arrangement view so far, so it was probably a basic question. No, that's fine. Basic questions are totally fine. I was just not sure if I was understanding the question, or if it was more Move related or what. That's great for building up a whole track with sets as sections. I think, we're still in the first month of Move being released. So what you'll see over the rest of the year is people pushing it even further. And I think over time, people are going to learn to be really excited about this device, because now that it's a much more affordable device than Push standalone. So more people will be making music with it. AKA, we have more chances to see how far people can push it, or how much people can move with it. I hope that makes sense. Did I do a decent job of showcasing this ecosystem? I hope I did. I hope I didn't leave anything major out. There's a lot more we could have done with Push, like more sampling stuff, which you guys asked for. And then different little manual stuff, like how to delete bars and stuff from loops. I want to look into all that. But I am currently in the phase of like working through the manual and making little beats on Move and trying to just get more familiar with the workflow. If you're not following me on Instagram, I've posted a bunch of Move beats, and I posted a YouTube short yesterday with some of my first beats on Move. So I'm trying to put the music making first and really get a firm grasp of the workflow before I do too much like talking content related to it. Bunny, no worries on being late. Welcome. Barista Beats, same thing. Still working, but want to catch the stream. I'll binge later the entire stream. I hope it's something enjoyable. We made a fun little beat today. Oh, what happened? I think I messed up the output. There we go. Look forward to rewatching. I'm looking for a portable option. I think Texisto, you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you see with Move. Now we have one more giveaway today before we sign off, but I want to remind everybody or show everybody who tuned in late that we have an amazing made by my mom crochet item this BeatToober. This will be up for grabs if you win a BeatToober award. So if you are the winner of a BeatToober award, which you can see at beattoober.com/awards, nomination form is live now. You will be able to win one of these planters. They come in a bunch of different colors. Where did my green one go? What happened? I don't know. It disappeared. But here's one in purple. They come in also green, orange, red, white. But also, I will have a five limited edition for sale. So if you want to pick one up, I'm going to be putting them up on my store this weekend. There will only be 5. There will only be 5 for sale. And I will price them accordingly. All the proceeds will go to the Music and Youth Initiative. So if you do want to have a nice skull planter to hang in your studio, I think it'll be some nice studio decor. Somebody said do it through eBay and do an auction. We could potentially do that. If there's only 5, we could do an auction. Or put 4 of them up for sale and leave 1 remaining for auction. It's all for a good cause. It's not just this is not a money-making scheme, my friends. This is all for a good cause. All the proceeds from everything, including the merch, the donations here, all my sample pack sales, all my channel membership revenue for the month is going to the Music and Youth Initiative. So if you're a member, you're already contributing. The next stream we have is going to be this weekend, and I'll try to do a long stream this coming weekend because we're not going to have a 24-hour stream this year. The schedule is just too packed, and I've had to travel for too much time this month. I don't think I could physically do it, but we will try to have a long mega stream this coming weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. And if you have any segments or any fun things that you would like to do, we can stick with a spooky Halloween theme. We can do that. Let's get this little groove going. Watercolor painting session could be a thing. We could bring that back. True. Little Bob Ross action. It's been a while since I've done some painting. I fell off on the painting train too. I think there's just been too many releases. I've been like so focused on channel stuff and music making. I don't know. Oh, it's hard to balance it all. Let's do one more giveaway today, folks. If you made it here to the end, thank you so much. If you made it to the end, you are eligible to win this giveaway. Now, unfortunately, our last winner did not 100% follow the instructions. So please, what I need you to do before we start this giveaway, which all you will have to do is spam the chat, but don't do it yet, is I'm going to type !winner, and anybody can do that in chat. Anybody can type !winner in chat, and it gives you the step-by-step guide to what you need to do if you win this giveaway. These are things you must do. Oh, maybe try some crochet myself. That would be fun. It would be fun to have my mom on a stream one day, and she can like teach me how to do it. We could see if we can make something live on stream. I missed the painting ambient vibe thing. Okay, maybe we could get a little Bob Ross action situation going. I hear y'all on that. Thank you all for typing !winner. Please read the message from Nightbot. Okay. We are going to be giving away Spaced Out by Baby Audio to one lucky winner. Spaced Out Baby Audio. One lucky winner, just for sticking around to the end today, has a chance to win this reverb and delay plugin. Would love to give it to a lucky winner in the audience today, just for being a part of the community, because BeatToober is about giving back to the community and also using our collective power to come together for a greater cause. And many of you have been very generous with donations today. Where does our 4-track challenge submissions go in the Discord? Hold that thought, Matthew. I'm going to create a channel for it in the Discord, so hold tight. I'll make an announcement in announcements, in BeatToober announcements channel when that's up. But let's go ahead. I'll go to my giveaways tab. You can spam move-related emojis. Move-related emojis for our friends at Ableton who sponsored today's stream. Let's get it going. I'm going to giveaways. All you have to do is spam for 1 minute. And I'm going to start the timer now, because people are starting to spam the chat already. And let me remind you all, as you spam for this last minute, we are raising money all month for a good cause, the Music and Youth Initiative, who provide opportunities for young people around the country to learn music, to get into the kind of music that they like, whether they want to play guitar in a band or drums, whether they want to do songwriting and get into a recording booth and record their own songs. These are things that I feel like I never had the opportunity to do when I was younger, but Music and Youth Initiative builds these programs for young people. Oftentimes the programs are completely free to the young people. It's not like they're selling lessons. It's like you finish school, you roll up to one of these after school programs, and you're learning beat making, you're learning to play guitar, drums, you're playing in a band, you're hanging out with your friends in a musical space, which is cool because there's a lot of space, I feel, for like athletically driven young people. Like there's a lot of clubs and a lot of sports that you can play, but music in terms of after school stuff tends to get isolated, like you get your one-on-one lesson or whatever. But Music and Youth Initiative is all about community, just like us here. So I think it's a perfect thing for us to support throughout BeatToober. If you have $1, $5, $10, every dollar helps. And in the spirit of BeatToober, I want us to use our collective power for a greater cause, but I also want to give back to this community that supports me and my work all year long. So in the spirit of that, the timer has stopped. No more spamming. I'm going to roll the dice, and the winner is going to win Spaced Out by Baby Audio. And don't forget that we have just started the new 4-track challenge with Ableton. So if you have Move or Ableton Note, you are able to participate in that challenge, the 4-track challenge. Looking forward to your submissions on that. BeatToober.com/bounty to find out all the ways you can win. But for now, I'm rolling the dice. As soon as I open this proper tab, I'm rolling the dice in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matthew Fluke has won Spaced Out. Matthew Fluke has won the giveaway. Exclamation point winner in the chat. Please read those instructions carefully. You have won. Now the real test. To see if you can follow the clear instructions from Nightbot. Congratulations to Matthew. Yes, but please don't forget there are lots of ways to win this BeatToober. The one way you can win majorly is win by feeling good about yourself by donating to the Music and Youth Initiative and contributing in all these different ways. Donating here on YouTube, making a direct donation to the Music and Youth Initiative if YouTube donations are not available. BeatToober merch, I'm rocking some merch right now. Sample packs, or becoming a channel member. Those are all ways that you can contribute. When is the next live, asks Chris. We will be live again this weekend. We will be live again this weekend. Exclamation point. Congrats, says SP. That's funny. Matthew, please make sure you read the Nightbot directions. Please share your Instagram handle in the chat, or else I will give your spaced out license to somebody else. But no, in all seriousness, the ways you can win are here at BeatToober bounties, beattober.com/bounty. You can win just by showing up to the live stream. We do a giveaway at the beginning and end of every stream just for being here. We have the Lander Sample Challenge. You can redeem your month of Lander, get the samples and all the details here. Future Samples, Sample Challenge. Get all that. Get everything you need here. Prizes. Free sample downloads. The Jamstick X BeatToober bounty for all you guitar players out there. We've had some great guitar entries popping up in the feed already. And then this one, the latest, the Ableton X BeatToober 4-track challenge, the latest to be added. Gotta thank Ableton for supporting our BeatToober efforts and bringing the community together for another challenge. A last-minute addition. I hope you enjoyed this stream and enjoyed watching the workflow with Move. If you tuned in late, you can always watch the VOD and watch from the beginning. Our previous lives are also available to watch. So if you missed a specific live, go check out the backlog right there on the channel. You can check the live tab. And I've got a new video dropping tomorrow. So if you don't have notifications set and you want to catch my content, whether it's another live stream or a new video, if you watch the videos when they drop, it definitely helps me combat the algorithm demon. Y'all are my closest supporters, so I need all the help we can. We need all the help we can get out here to spread the positivity. If you were here for that conversation earlier, if you do like positive conversations centered around music making and like making the best of the things that we have, then all your support really does mean a lot. Thank you all so much to everybody who donated. I will catch you all later. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.
you.